See it first on NBC4. This is the Evening News.
Did you know the water you drink contains a lot of salt? What is being done to reduce it? Good evening, everyone. I'm Coco Douglas. Jay Ritchie has the evening off. Our top story this Monday, salt in our tap water and how it's being taken out. NBC4's Kyla Andrews takes us to the starting point of this project in Logan, New Mexico. Plus, Paul Ferrante takes a look at bottled water versus tap water. Then we'll have a full report on how salts, among other minerals, affect your pipes and appliances. The salt levels in your water will drop by 30% or more if a drilling project near Logan is successful. NBC4's Kyla Andrews shows us how a network of wells will get rid of the salt in Lake Meredith.
Drilling crews dig thousands of feet, creating a disposal well for the salt contaminating Lake Meredith.
We're just getting rid of it there. The benefits are going to be from the reduced brine inflow into the river.
This section of the Canadian River just east of Logan, New Mexico contains a lot of the salt that flows into Lake Meredith. In the next phase of the project, crews will put production wells onto the river to take away a lot of the brine. Here's how the whole project works. The production wells trap the salt from the river, then that salt water feeds into the injection well where it is stored 3,000 feet below the surface. The result is fresher water in the river for panhandle towns to tap into.
Over the course of maybe 10 years, as the lake water does get quite a bit less salty, I think you'll probably see a difference. And as we bring these other projects on, then the salt's going to go quite a bit down.
The well project will be complete in about a year. Then it's only a matter of time until the saltiness in the lake begins to fade away. Kyla Andrews, NBC4.
The city of Amarillo blends the water it gets from Lake Meredith with well water from Randall and Carson counties. Soon Roberts County will be added to that list. City Manager John Ward says the blending will continue regardless of the salt content of the lake. Amarillo is allotted 40 million gallons of lake water per day and uses every drop of it. And during the summer, consumption rises to 60 to 70 million gallons a day, so well water is always needed. But Ward says if the level of salt is reduced, ultimately the quality of our drinking water will be improved year-round. As those projects continue to improve the water we get out of our taps, many people say the taste still leaves something to be desired. NBC4's Paul Ferrante has been following this part of the story, and he joins us live with more. Paul?
Well, Coco, a lot of us spend extra money each week on bottled water. It's really just a matter of taste. But what we're finding out is more and more people are filling up outside the home. Cool, refreshing water. We can't live without it, but a lot of people here in the Panhandle would prefer to avoid local tap water completely.
The flavor's awful. First of all, that was the first thing I noticed when we moved here. I've kind of gotten used to it, which I don't guess that's a very good thing, but...
Some people are shelling out big bucks to filter local tap water. Others bypass the public supply and opt for the bottled stuff. But a local dentist says that could be a bad idea.
In the fact that our city water is fluorided to an optimum level so that give our teeth the strength and our kids the strength that they need in their teeth. When you drink the bottled water, the spring water that you buy in the grocery store, the fact is it does not have any fluoride.
Officials in the beverage industry say Americans spent more than $3.5 billion on bottled water last year. So it's clearly gaining popularity, and a lot of people say they can't live without it. Coco, we talked with some city water officials, and they say local water supplies are regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency, and national water is some of the safest in the world.
So, Paul, local water supplies are okay. Do we really need to change current standards?
Well, city officials say that they're constantly looking for ways to improve our water supply, and just because it's safe for us and healthy doesn't mean people like it. So they're continuing the effort to improve the taste of the water. Back to you.
Taste is important. Thank you very much, Paul. The drinking water affects more than just your taste buds. The salt and other minerals in the water can be hard on your pipes. NBC4's Janella Newsom joins us live with that part of the story. Janella, what did you find out?
Well, we all know that too much salt isn't good for you. It's not good for your pipes either. I spoke to a plumber today, and he says you might want to consider copper pipes if you haven't already. Unlike galvanized pipes, copper pipes are less likely to have a buildup of mineral deposits. Of course, it's hard to prevent a pipe from corroding, and that leads to other problems.
Is your ice makers and your refrigerator, and it can affect your water heaters. It can also affect your shower valves to where you're not getting sufficient hot and cold water through the valves. Just a big general buildup of mineral deposits throughout your pipes will cause a lot of trouble.
Craig suggests using water softeners or conditioners, inline filters, and whole house filters. Craig says the water can also affect swimming pool heaters, too.
So, Janella, the best thing to do is to use softeners and filters?
That's right, Coco. Or maybe think about installing copper pipes.
All right, some good advice there. Thank you, Janella. So, recapping our top story for this evening, a water desalinization project is underway in Logan. Crews should complete the work within a year and a half. Lots of people prefer bottled water, but one local dentist says tap water has its pluses, too. And you may have problems now with your pipes due to salt buildup, but those problems could go away soon. In other news, police in California think they caught the man responsible for the recent murders of 4 women in Yosemite National Park. The crimes show you can go from an innocent tourist to a victim of a violent attack in minutes. Today we spoke with a family traveling from Phoenix to Missouri. Leanne Larkin says she planned her summer vacation with safety in mind since her husband couldn't make it on the trip.
Caravanning with my parents. We stick close to each other, and if we need to stop for any reason, we just flash our lights. But it's much more peace of mind knowing that I'm with somebody just in case I need them.
Larkin says she only lets her kids leave her site if they're with a sibling. Another rule her family follows is only traveling during daylight hours. If you have plans to take a trip, the local AAA office has more information to help keep your loved ones safe. Potter County commissioners okay the use of seized money to investigate illegal gambling operations. From the commission agenda today, the Potter County Attorney's Office will have control of about $5,000 taken from 8-liner prosecutions. They'll turn that money around to prosecute more cases. And a recently hired county employee's starting salary is up in the air. 3 of the 5 commissioners and district judges have a difference of $4,000.
Coming up, Steve McCauley's forecast. Then, after weather.
A rare afternoon game ends rather dramatically. We'll tell you about the thrilling outcome next.
Jay Ritchie, Coco Douglas, meteorologist Steve McCauley, and Dennis De La Pena Sports. The news continues after these messages. Steve McCauley's forecast has the American Meteorological Society's seal of approval.
Well, another beautiful day across most of the Texas Panhandle this afternoon. It wasn't that hot here in Amarillo. We finally made it into the lower 90s, but it's been in the 100s out in our eastern counties. But at least the sky is blue, a few puffy clouds developing out there, and some of us are lucky enough to be getting some rainfall, but not here in Amarillo. Our evening forecast for the city does call for clear skies. It's going to be warm as temperatures fall slowly through the 80s by 10 o'clock this evening, and the winds will be staying light out of the south at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Again, we're one of the cooler spots without the rain here in Amarillo, but you can see off to the northwest where it has been raining throughout much of the afternoon. We're down to 62 degrees now in Raton. Wouldn't that feel good for you folks in Beaver at 102 degrees right now? So there's a 40-degree temperature spread across our viewing area. That doesn't happen very often, at least not in the summertime. We can certainly see that during the winter months. But you can see the hottest stuff is out here in West Oklahoma. Temperatures generally running in the upper 90s and lower 100s. Right now we are sunny, 93 degrees, not even a cooling breeze. Winds are variable in direction about 5 miles an hour. The dew point's at 58, humidity 31%, and pressure falling at 30.02. Your numbers today, 70 balmy degrees this morning, 93 our current temperature is also the official high, actually a little bit above the normal. Records 102, 1948, and a 56 set back in 1959. Satellite picture, not going to see very many clouds here in the Texas Panhandle, but you will notice them blossoming up across northeastern New Mexico, going into the Colorado Rockies. Big old thunderstorms there. Some of these look like they're bordering on severe levels. I wouldn't be surprised to get some dime-sized hail, some of the heavier thunderstorms, but they're simply not moving very much, so it will only be our northwestern counties that will have that chance of rain for tonight. Current temperatures look like this. We're still holding on to 100 degrees up there in Dodge City, Kansas. Compare that to our 93 here in Amarillo and Lubbock, 96 in Dallas, 90 degrees in Houston, and some high humidity and 89 degrees down in Brownsville. You'll watch the storms flare up across the northwest. A lot of them up there, but again, the upper level steering currents are extremely weak. Therefore, if you don't get one that develops right on top of you, chances are you're not going to be getting wet tonight. because they're moving less than 5 miles an hour. Take a look at the Doppler net, and you'll watch up here in the highlands of New Mexico, the blossoming thunderstorms going up, and then they just sit there and generally rain themselves out. But they can put down about 1 to 2 inches of rain on top of you, especially if you are living in Union County up in New Mexico. But let's go to Power Scan Radar. Take a look, first of all, here in the Oklahoma Panhandle. Boise City are just surrounded by showers and thunderstorms. Following the highway up into southwestern Kansas there, you can see the lightning coming down. Again, nothing severe being indicated here, but they're dropping to the south at about 3 to 5 miles an hour. Let's take it over to New Mexico and show you what's going on over here in Union County. A big old splattering of showers and thunderstorms. Good rainfall up here all the way back into the highlands around Ratona, New Mexico. Again, generally going down to the south at about 3 to 5 miles an hour, but should stay in our northwestern counties for tonight. Let's take a look at the forecast. If you're headed off and seeing that rain coming into New Mexico, then tapering off as you head up into southwest Kansas. And if you are going down to the Play, Texas tonight, no problem whatsoever. Clear skies. Temperatures starting off around 90, cooling down to about 80 by the end of the performance. Overnight low temperatures for tonight will be warm. Upper 60s, lower 70s, and going back into the mid and upper 90s again for tomorrow. Down south, we'll keep the 70s out here in the East Panhandle in West Oklahoma. And up here on the high plains should be falling into the mid and upper 60s. Everybody goes back into the 90s to near 100 degrees tomorrow. And the same old, your best chances of rain up there in northeastern New Mexico where you do see the green. Not much chance down here in the Amarillo area. Forecasting specifically for Amarillo and vicinity for tonight, we will go for clear skies, drop it back to 68. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tomorrow, we'll go for sunshine. Temperatures back up to where they are today, 93. South winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. An extended outlook, including the weekend, not a lot of change. Temperatures holding in the low to mid-90s. Overnight lows holding in the mid and upper 60s with rain chances holding less than 20%. Once again, send us your name, address, and phone number, or you can log on to the computer at weather@KMR.com. You can send us all that information and have a chance to win a dinner for two at Cafe Roma, Desperado's Eat Right Home Plate Diner, or the Catfish Shack, and we give that away whenever we get the forecast right within 1 degree in your hometown. So if you're getting wet right now, you're going to be wet for the next 2 to 3 hours. If you're dry right now, it's going to be dry.
And you know it's hot when you just sit there and do nothing and you sweat.
Exactly. And it's going to be that way for the rest of the week.
Okay. Staying inside then. Thank you, Steve. In tomorrow's edition of the Amarillo Globe News, Amarillo-based Maxor Pharmacies has sold 6 of its local retail pharmacy stores to Eckerd Corp in an effort to focus on its core business divisions. The Kawadi Indian dancers are on their way to a performance in Berlin to open a new American embassy, and Texans suffering from blistering temperatures. There are a few simple precautions that can save you from a heat-related illness. You're watching the evening news on NBC4, and still to come, if you have plans to remodel your home but don't have all the resources, we'll show you how to make your designing dreams come true with net results.
And now, the news continues on NBC4.
Do you want to remodel your home but can't find a good place to start? The internet is filled with lots of ideas and people that can make it happen. Here's Dave Anderson with tonight's net results.
Whether you're just finishing up a remodeling project or you're about to start one, the internet will be a big help for you. Take this site, www.improvenet.com. Right here, you can gather design ideas, get remodeling tips, find local lenders, contractors, architects, and even check their backgrounds. Here on the homepage, you choose the project type you're interested in, say kitchen remodeling, and then select what issue you'd like to explore, like design. From there, you can check out pictures of dream designs and learn how to build them. As you search and pick up tips and find favorite designs, you can add them to an idea file. When you feel like you've gathered enough expert advice, you can return to the homepage and find a local contractor at the click of a button. So before you pick up a hammer this summer, sit down at your computer and compile a great plan using the internet. We sure enjoy getting your emails here at OneSource, so keep sending them to netresults@1s.net.
Next up in sports, a troubled running back gets another shot in the league, and the streaking Dillas try to win one under the sun. Dennis is in next with one action-packed matinee. It's not very often that baseball games are played in the heat of the afternoon, you know?
It's kind of weird. It's kind of tough on some fans, too.
I would think so.
People have those nice box seats. The sunshine splashing on. You see them kind of running for the cheapies.
And they have to take off work to get to the game, or?
I think a lot of folks out there playing a little hooky from their work time. Yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, if you're gearing up for this evening's Dilla festivities, stay home. The fellas are bussing their way to Ozark as we speak, fresh off a rare diamond matinee out at the Dilla Villa. And as we told you earlier, the box seats, just a few brave ones out there with umbrellas to keep away from the sun splash. Did we say splash? How about Sean Hughes? Dilla's down in this one, but the lefty hitting Hughes at that point. He's a switch hitter, makes that kid happy, and he even says hi to his mom. Not Hughes, but the kid. A little later, good swing from Timmy Hayes. Brings in scampering Jared McElvain. Things are starting to get interesting. Dilla's down. Sam Lee ties things up late when he brings in Vimo. That's what we call Vince Moore. And then the bottom of the ninth, Brian Jones on second. Tie ball game until Malik Fowler, who had missed a couple sacrifice bunts, brings him in. Dilla's win 5-4. Malik the hero, even though it wasn't necessarily by design.
It feels pretty good. but I still think I should, got the bunt down and left it up to Kenny and Lonnie and those guys.
A humble hero, but a hero nonetheless. Dilla's next three, they're actually, on the, like we said, on the bus going to Ozark. And then they come right back, and they'll host Abilene in a 3-game set starting July 30th. Now, we go to some Hall of Fame game exhibition antics. There's that chicken. He's frequented the Dilla a couple times this year. Rafael Palmero. Rafi has frequented the long ball plenty. But again, these don't count. Just having fun out there in Cooperstown. Speaking of having fun, Greg Zahn points at the fence, and we got to speed it up. We get him up at plate. Boom. He takes it out just as planned, brings the fans to their feet. And Dilla's go ahead and win this. Dilla's. The Rangers win this one. I'm still psyched up about the comeback. 11-9, your final score is there. Now we go to the NFL, and last call for Lawrence Phillips, the talented but troubled running back, looking to officially join the 49ers. In fact, it is a done deal. Phillips has signed with San Francisco a 2-year deal with the Niners. Of course, he has been released from 2 NFL teams within the last year. 24-year-old has recently spent his football time with the Barcelona Dragons of the WLAF. Now let's get back to the NFL and some Cowboys, and they signed Dat Nguyen, their rookie, 3 years, $1.2 million. They also get wide receiver Wayne McGarity out of Texas. Terms unreleased on this. And according to Chan Gailey, the above simply a bonus.
Before that, if we had not added a player, we should be better this year because we are in the second year of the offense. We are in the second year of camp here. Everybody has a comfort level.
Last stop, a sad sports story, and we're talking about former TCU hoopster Lee Nalen. Over the weekend, the 43rd overall NBA draft pick, one of 3 arrested on drug charges. Again, this happened Saturday. Nalen, TCU running back LaDainian Tomlinson, and Leroy Nesbitt, the third. They're all free right now on bond after their arrest Saturday in suburban Fort Worth on drug charges. Marijuana possession charge, a class single-A misdemeanor. So that's not good because Nalen, the things coming out of it before the draft were that he had a little trouble, passed. Hopefully, he'll be okay after that one.
Yeah, getting back to the Dillas, did you happen to see Jay Ritchie out there?
I did not.
Well,
yeah, I know he wasn't in the sun because not too many people were, was he?
He's missing in action today. He should be sitting here between us.
Oh, no, yeah.
Maybe
I don't think
there.
he's playing hooky. He's probably really sick.
I'm trying to catch up with him. Thank you, Dennis.
Sure.
Well, our sunny skies couldn't be more perfect. Will they stick around, or will we see a few scattered showers? Steve McCauley is in next with a peek at the weekday weather outlook.
Tonight on NBC4.
If you want to lock in long-term low rates, don't put off shopping for term insurance because Kiplinger says a new rule could boost the cost dramatically. That's tonight at 10 o'clock. And maybe I'm going on a limb here, but the weather's not going to change dramatically?
I don't really think so. I mean, we're kind of stuck in a rut. So if you're getting rain now, you're going to get it later this week. And if it's dry now, you're going to be dry later this week. Let's take a look at Power Scan Radar. Show you where it's wet right now. Again, it's our northwestern zones. I tell you what, that lightning is pretty deadly up there in Union County, New Mexico, also in Cimarron County, the Oklahoma Panhandle. Everything is drifting slowly to the south at about 5 miles an hour, but expected to dissipate before moving into the central panhandle. Let's take a look at the upcoming weekend. Again, the same thing. Northwestern zones will be mainly the ones that will be getting wet. The rest of us should be dry. Temperatures in the 90s and 100s all across the Lone Star State. Not a big change on Sunday, maybe a little bit less chance for rain up in our northwestern counties, but temperatures really are not going to be changing all that much. We are in the doldrums of summertime, and that just means we're waiting for the big kicker and that could be like a tropical system or something like that, but at least not for the next several days.
It's Monday, and we're already talking about the weekend.
Everybody wants to know what's going on the weekend.
I know. We count down to that. Thank you, Steve. And thank you so much for watching tonight. We'll see you back here at 10.